So it came about, I was here for quite a while before I started this project, and I was snorkeling and seeing more and more of these invasive sea cucumbers, invasive seagrasses. Didn't think too much of it, and I showed it to some supervisors here who got quite excited because they didn't actually know that was there. And the rate at which is so dramatic that I feel if the same project was done in 5 years' time, there'd be even more and across even more bays. So I thought it'd be really nice to do this project now and note down the current state of invasives at this part of Lipsey at this time.
Currently I'm working on a project investigating the abundance of an invasive sea cucumber that came to the Mediterranean and also to the Aegean Sea due to the opening in the 20th century of the Suez Canal. So we tried to find a correlation between the abundance of the invasive sea cucumber with the abundance of an invasive seagrass species, which also comes in place whenever human disturbance leads to a decrease of native seagrass species such as Posidonia oceanica.
The methods included for this survey revolve around block sampling. So we make a 5 by 5 metre block on the seafloor where we see cucumbers, and then we'll note down how many sea cucumbers we see, any obvious human influence such as anchor scars or marine litter, and then we use a quadrat, which is a smaller block which is 1/2 metre by 1/2 metre, and we place that 10 times to have a look at the sediment type of seagrass, native seagrass, invasive seagrass.
So we have 3 different sites which are quite close to each other, and we also have a depth gradient, so we investigate 3 different depth gradients from 3 to 5 meters, 5 to 7 and 7 to 9 meters. I would say the main limitation is that we are not able to scuba dive, and also some areas are difficult to access, so we need to swim out a lot, and then we need to dive down up to 9 meters. So instead of just scuba dive and be in the water or underwater for a long time, we just need to dive up and down. So it takes a lot of energy and also a lot of time.
We're sort of limited to working within office hours, which is in the day. So we've been carrying out our surveys in the morning to keep consistency in the results, but we would like to also have done one at night, but we didn't really have the resources to make that possible. In addition, previous surveys looking at sea cucumbers have gone a lot deeper, to 20 meters, and because we don't have access to scuba equipment, we're limited to snorkeling and free diving, so we've had to cap our data collection at 9 meters.
We still need to analyze all the data, but so far it fits our hypothesis. So we were thinking that the deeper the depth, the higher the number of cucumbers is. And also we found out that at sites where there is high human disturbance with like anchor scars and boating, we can find more of the invasive seagrass as well as the invasive sea cucumber. And also wherever the invasive seagrass appears, the sea cucumbers appear in a higher number as well. An interesting thing that we noticed during our surveys is that it's not just invasive sea cucumbers that occur more often in the bays. It's also invasive fish, invasive sea urchin and invasive algae.
Invasive species are a big problem globally, and they're on the rise because of global warming. Sea temperatures are rising, so species which wouldn't normally have survived in such a climate are now thriving. So the difference between these invasive species and natural occurrent ones are, so because they originate from different environments completely. The cucumbers we're looking at, they can be much longer. We've seen cucumbers up to 2 meters, whereas the native cucumbers are much smaller. And also because there shouldn't be this abundance of cucumbers, they change the bottom food web, change the food source because they don't have natural predators here. Whereas a natural sea cucumber could be grazed upon because they're so much smaller by, say, starfish, for instance. These sea cucumbers don't have a natural predator here, so they can just keep spawning basically and taking over.
So, and then our first meeting. We love guys. Ever since that moment.
So professional.
Sorry, what were the questions?
Sorry, take a picture. We look professional.
You're amazing.
From the back with the camera in.